Okay, so I'm going to try this, and we're going to see what happens. Um, I'm getting ready to start looking at mixing a version of Speechless that we did with Jillian on vocals and all of us playing. And I thought, well, why don't we see what it looks like to do this through a YouTube stream? So, if you're here, welcome. If you're watching it later, let me know how it went. I do have this stream set up as an ultra low latency stream, so that's a new thing I didn't know I could do before. So it looks like you should be able to interact. We should be able to interact pretty closely in real time, which is pretty cool. So let me flip over to my mixing, to my DAW. There we go. DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation, if you didn't know. I'm going to do a real quick say hello. Just to say something. All right. I don't know. I guess there's no real way to tell if anybody's online. So, hey, if you're here, say hi. I'd love to know that you're here. You should see, I think right below my picture, there's a link right here. Or no, it's above me. To streamlabs.com. He's God, we're not. That's just I'm playing with their software, the Streamlabs open broadcasting software. There is an availability there to notify me with money if you wanted to donate to our options here, to our playing with stuff here. I do hope that if you're watching this, you would click the subscribe button below, and that you would be notified when we post new videos. There's a bunch of people who got notified that I was going live and are probably really surprised by that. Perhaps even my own wife might be downstairs going, what's he doing? Well, here I am. So, all right. I'm going to real quick grab let's see. How can I even tell? How do I know? What I'd like to do is post a link to this over on Facebook, just so people who are over there can know that I'm doing this. So let me see if I can figure out how to do that real fast. Let me go to my channel, which should be showing us live. Yeah, it sure is. And let me go there. Oh, wow, that really is close to live. That's awesome. And I'm going to go over to Facebook, and I'm going to post something just so that if people want to help me out in testing this, that they can see what we're doing. Sorry, it's hard to talk and do at the same time, isn't it? Get ready, real quick, post. Is Aladdin one L or two L's? It's one L and two D's, right? One L and two D's. So I'm going to just real quick post this video over there. And we'll see if maybe we get some people coming to check us out. All right, so here we are. This is, we've already done the recording. And I've done a little bit of sound development and sound design on things, but what I haven't really done is put the whole thing together. So I'm going to try and do that while we're here. Again, I'd love if you're here, say hey. Let's just give a real quick listen to, let's see. This will show me down there by my picture how many people are watching this, at least while we're live. And again, this is the first time we've ever done something like this, so I don't expect very many of you to be here. If you are watching this later, though, I will say, where were you? We missed you. We could have used you. But anyway. All right, so let's give a listen to what we got so far. And again, this is a very, very rough mix.
Here comes a wave meant to wash me away, a tide that is taking me under, swallowing sand left with nothing to say, my voice drowned out in the thunder, but I won't cry, and I won't start to cry.
All right, so what we need to start thinking or doing, hey, mixer audio is pretty low. Benjamin, thanks for telling me. Let me see if I can turn that up a little bit. Give that another shot. Is that better?
Here comes a wave meant to wash me away, a tide that is taking me under, swallowing sand left with nothing to say, my voice drowned out in the thunder, but I won't cry, and I won't start to crumble, whenever they try to shut me or cut me down, I won't be silenced, you can't keep me quiet, won't tremble when you try it, all I know is I won't go speechless, 'cause I'll breathe when they try to suffocate.
All right. Is that any better? Benjamin, does that sound any better or seem any better? Let's see, I can increase the gain. Hold on one second. Let me add a little bit of a gain here. Let's go to verse.
Written in stone, every rule, every word, centuries old and unbending. Stay in your place, better seen and not heard, but now that story is ending, 'cause I cannot start to crumble, so come on and try.
All right. I don't know if I've lost Benjamin. That's better. Maybe a little too loud. Okay. Hey, how's the lag seem? Like, how quickly after I saw that did you hear me say it's pretty good? I picked an ultra low latency stream, so it looks like it's pretty quick. All right, so I will pull down the gain. That may be a little louder, but not much. I did see those. Let me pull the gain down. Oh, sorry. So I'll pull that down a little bit. All right. Okay, so here we go. Now, what we want to do is listen to some of these things by themselves. Let's listen, since Benjamin's listening, let's just listen to his guitar parts. You see I've got them in blue, so we'll come up to the guitars. And we'll look at the tracks there. And here's where he comes in. 2 to 3 seconds, that's not too bad. All right, so let's just listen to the guitars. Okay, well, first thing we should do while we're here is put a noise gate on. Let's not do a... there's no reason for us to be getting all that noise from there. So we're going to load up this channel strip thing, and I'm going to get rid of just about everything on it until we need it. I'm going to keep the virtual channel on there, although I'm going to wait a while to set it. But let's add a gate. And then center. All right, well that's interesting. It sounded like so that's good. Might need to lower the gate just a little bit. Alright, so it seems that that rhythm part here comes in just a tad early. If we zoom in on those, we can even probably see. Yeah, that jumps a little bit right there. Well, doesn't that sound good? So here is where he really gets back on. So it's like from this section here. On this track. Did not do what I wanted it to do. Let's see here. So we're going to cut the loop of cut selected area. There we go. Now I've cut it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it back. And this time we'll move it so it lines up better, like there. And there we go. And now we have fixed that performance problem. Not really a problem, just off a millisecond or two. That happens. Okay, but let's take a step back. Let's just look at our acoustic guitars now. Let's just listen at the acoustic guitar, and let's get a look at. Oops. I'm just going to do a real quick survey here to look at the dynamic range on the acoustics. The dynamic range would be the difference between like the small peaks and the big ones. And this is, I'm just trying to see if there's a need, if there are any areas on these acoustic guitars where, you know, it might suddenly get really, really loud and jump out, and just see if we need to maybe put any kind of compression on them. And it doesn't actually look like we need to. They look pretty good. But like, let's just listen to the performance of the acoustic guitars then. You are pretty amazing. Okay, so one of the first things I'm noticing is that here is, so the Benjamin played the part twice. Obviously, we have two tracks, and I've got them panned part way left and part way right, about halfway. I'm going to do a hard pan on those and go straight all the way. I just don't feel like there's enough separation between the two. It's a really good sound out of the guitar. The mic'd acoustic guitar, I think it's got a really good sound. It doesn't really, I don't think it needs very much. We might throw some EQ on it later or something, but here, let's listen again. Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that performance, and I think the stereo separation, doing them a little harder left and right, helped a lot. So for now, I think the guitars are good. The acoustic guitars are good. So let us go now, and let's look at, in the context of those guitars, actually, there is that we have it listed as rhythm. It's really almost a lead line coming into it. It's a texture. It's not a thing, and you can see I did actually play with panning this. Let's just listen to that line. I have it moving. And that's it. That's that lick. I kind of like what we were doing with the pan thing, just trying to give it a little bit of movement. I think it needs to pan more. So why don't we go really extreme and go 100% left and 100% right. That's going to be too much. Let's not go that far. Let's go 70-ish percent. And again, all we're doing is I'm moving the guitar through the field, through the stereo field. Now it's farther over here. It moves. Nice. Now it moves back. Back to the other side, and then it comes to the center. Okay, that's okay. Let's add in the acoustics and just hear what we're trying to do here. That's a great idea. That's a great idea, and you're right. Well, you guys can read it. Benjamin's pointing out that the volume here in this purple section, what he called the purple section, is a little bit lower, and you can. Purple was a different take. it just feels like it's a little bit lower. So what I've done is I've opened up this volume envelope. This is the volume that the track is currently set at. That is going to be something we're going to want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a point here, 2 points here, so that we can change the volume. And then coming... See, it looks like the end here... That's true. This is now louder. You can see the difference in the dynamic range. So let's... Yeah, I think the chords are fine too. So what we're going to do is we're just going to raise up the volume of this section a little bit. And that's too far. So we'll pull that back a little bit. It's still a lot. That's better. It might need a little bit more. Actually, you know, this might benefit from a little bit of compression, because I think we're getting this. You can see this is a lot higher than this, and if we can narrow those things out a little bit. I don't really want to get into compressing anything quite just yet. See, it feels high there. Nice. All right, so we're getting a good shape, I guess, a little bit what you might call shape to our guitar sound. And then it's at this point that the other guitar part comes in, and this is really it's intended, I think, as more of a background. So let's just play all of the... Let me turn off the pan envelope as well. And what's coming in here is just a distorted guitar part. All right, so there's a pretty major break here if you listen to the whole thing, just real quick. So the instruments are all breaking. So we are going to want to, in that section, for that guitar part, we are going to want to bump that up. So as long as we're here, I'm just going to do it real fast so that so that I remember it next time. I think that was pretty loud, wasn't it? Okay, good. So that gives us at least a start. Okay, so overall, again, we're not mixing. I'm not trying to set all the balances right. I just want to make sure that all of the sounds are complementing each other, that we're getting not everything, but we're getting stuff that we need from the guitar parts. And again, I think the guitars are sounding pretty good. So let's turn those off and let's go look at something else. And I guess instrumentally, the next thing to look at would be the bass guitar. So we'll solo that. Let's see what that sounds like here. Wow, that's dirtier than I remember setting it up. Okay, if I don't have any compression on that yet, I'm going to need some, that's for sure. Okay, so it occurs to me, the way I have this set up, that you guys cannot see my plugins. So let's change things up a little bit here. I'm gonna Benjamin, would you do me a favor? Would you go over to the Streamlabs link that's right here, and actually I can do it. What I'd like to see is there a chat there? There is not a chat there. Okay. Never mind. I was hoping there was a chat there because when you chat on YouTube, it's not letting me know. Yeah, thank you. It's not letting me know. It's not beeping at me. So what I'm going to have to do is something like, I know things are getting weird on the screen. You'll see in just a second. We'll get it fixed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this so that instead I'm going to turn off that thing. And now I'm going to add just my entire display. Now I use as my display, I'm using a 4K TV. So it's pretty big. But this should let me, now with that on like that, you can see there, I can see the things. But now when I pull up an effect, it should show up so you can see it now. Yeah, okay, there you go. So I don't want to mess with the sound yet on the bass. Again, it's really dirty. It's a lot dirtier than I remember it. But I may have had a reason at the time because I was playing with some things at the time. So I'm gonna trust myself for now. We'll look at sounds again in a second. But let's pull up the mix rack, which is some basic effects. Actually, I want to use the 4E. Okay, this is a compressor, the FG116. Let's see how hard I'm hitting that compressor. Yeah, you know, honestly, I'm sitting here looking at the waveform here, and I just don't even think I need 4:1 of compression. That seems like a lot of compression on this. So let's come here and look more at about 2:1 and see what that relatively fast attack. We'll do a slow release so we keep some of the sustain. We're peaking this a little bit. Let's pull the drive back. Okay. I just don't want to squash it quite as much as we were doing. Let's listen to it in context.
Always I won't go speechless, speechless, like the storm in. I cannot be broken.
Yeah, that fuzz lets it cut through a little bit, so that's okay. I'm not going to be unhappy with that. All right, so all in all, the guitars and the bass I think are okay. If we were to just solo guitar and bass and go back to the beginning, well, we go to where it comes in. Okay, so Benjamin's comment, the bass seems a little low. I don't disagree, and then I do disagree. It's like it's too low sometimes, and it's not high enough. So it's too high sometimes. I was riding and thinking about that again. We call it a rhythm part. It's not really a rhythm part, but there's a point at which kind of miss it when that goes to the lower register, where we had to boost the volume a little bit. It kind of gets lost. I think the bass is too high there. Again, that's an automation level kind of thing. No, I know what you mean. I'm just saying, I felt like the guitar got lost. I felt like the bass was too high in the mix there. Listen. Like there, it's too high. Shh, that's too high. So, setting the actual instrument to instrument levels is something. Once we get the sounds all worked out, we'll work on that. What time are we looking at? 7:30. Let me see what I have here. Excuse me, I got to do family business. Okay, so we got the bass, the guitar. Let's talk about the accordion. And by now you're probably going, the what? There's an accordion? And there is an accordion. There are several accordion parts, actually. The bright green we did. The bright green is what we did with the accordion, is where we did the accordion stuff. Are you watching? My wife is messaging me, and she just sent me a smile, and I don't know if it's because she's watching me interrupt this to do that. Anyway, okay, so the accordion comes in pretty early, as a pad instrument. And the levels are going to need to come way up on this stuff. Okay, so what I did there is we did some recording, obviously, with a live mic where we were listening to stuff. So what we're going to need to do, and I guess we'll just do it on the bus. We're going to add a copy of our virtual mix rack to our bus. We're going to clear off most of this to start with. We'll come back and add compression and effects and stuff as we need to. I am worried about compressing the accordion track. I don't want to... what happened there? I don't want to draw out the key clicking. That worries me. I want to make sure they don't have a strip for accordion. So we'll just go with the mix bus for now, and I'll get rid of most of these plugins. So this says I've got 2 watchers over here, but I only see Benjamin's the only one who's commented. I do appreciate you spending the time and coming and check out what we're doing here. This is the first time I've tried to do something like this, do a mix on here, so any feedback would be appreciated. I'm going to drive that mix bus a little bit. And that's just for the tonal quality. But once we get into here, I'm going to want to add another gate. Okay, that's not going to work like I wanted it to. So, we do want the rack there. However, okay, what I have is I have these 4 tracks here that are doing what is basically an orchestral fill in the actual song. Listen. Okay, so I want to isolate those. I could, and maybe the answer is just to do this. I could just shorten these. To where the actual sound is beginning. I do wish that little marker didn't come up like over what I'm trying to look at. That's kind of annoying, isn't it? There you go. Now that'll be, a lot of that'll be lost. Get rid of some of the tail there too. This stuff will all get lost in the full mix. In terms of volume. And you can tell we're doing crazy things with pans. What we did was, these are different, accordion has multiple reed sets, so we recorded the same thing, the same run, with different reed sets, so that we could try and get it kind of filled out. And I think what we want to do, and Reaper lets me do this, is I'm going to build another track here. I'm going to, basically this becomes an accordion fill bus, okay, where this becomes a parent to these tracks. It's almost like a VCA mixer. I can control all of them. But the reason I want to do that is because I can see that I probably will in the future want to put some kind of an effect on that, whether it's a chorus or reverb or something, just to give it some more space. So I'm not going to actually do it, but let's try something. Let's put a real quick yeah, 408 play. That's a good thing. It's just, that's way too much. Yeah. Too long. Well, this is something to play with. Now's not the time. I just thought it would be interesting to try. Yeah, that actually works. Okay, so just to show it in context with everything else we got going. Yeah, that works. That works. Again, we'll fine-tune stuff like that down the road. I am going to have to call that a session for right now. Let me save the work that we've done so far. Again, we're just tweaking sounds and whatnot, and we'll come back and get into some other things with that later on. Hey, I appreciate you watching this. If you enjoyed it, that'd be great if you would subscribe. Click the subscribe button below. As I work on this song, I will continue to do so online so you guys can watch it. If you have any questions, we got the chat. You're welcome to jump on and ask a question. It really would help us if you'd like this video, if you'd subscribe to the channel. That would help us out a lot. I'd really appreciate it. So on behalf of my whole family who recorded this song, I'll just again say thank you and remind you that at the end of the day, don't forget, He's God. See, I should have placed my mouse sooner. That would have made more sense, right? Don't forget, He's God and you're not. That's right, Benjamin. Thanks. You guys have a great night. God bless.